who really showed the way home. So we go up to the version of the men's event, the PR2 men's singles. Lawrence Whitley, Olympic champion in this event, which was, of course, only over 1K in Rio. Corne van der Koning, who is the partner of Anneke van der Meer, who took the world title last year. Lawrence Whitley's partner is currently injured. So this event is, as we say, not in the Olympic programme. There are only 3 Paralympic events in the Olympic programme. The PR1 single scull for men's and women, the PR2 mixed double, and the PR3 mixed 4. So this is entirely for World Cups and entirely to make sure that these athletes get competition if their partner is injured, or indeed if the partner maybe is retired and they can't find another partner eligible with this particular classification to allow them to row in this event. Haven't seen too much
2 minutes
of the Italian.
And the Italians run this program from Gavirati, the rowing club on Lake Varese. Also popular with the Australian team, who go down there and have their European training centre there. But it's Gavirati Rowing Club with Giovanni Calabresi and his wife that organised the Italian para rowing programme.
Gianfilippo Mirabali is roughly 50 years of age. So he's the oldest man in this race. So there's this slight delay in waiting for the start of the race. We will be off very soon. You can see there the GPS tracker and the bows on number 3 in the boat. I'm just going back to the washboard that keeps the waves off of the scullers. You can see he's got his pulse watch there. That tells him how many sort of strokes per minute. The rating. You can see the sort of housing that Lawrence Whitley has got his legs in there, just so everything is directed onto the stretcher.
Great Britain, Netherlands, Italy, attention.
So now we're ready for the start of this PR2 men's singles race. A great start from the Netherlands, and unfortunately the Italian sculler had a little bit of trouble there getting his blades cleanly away.
Well, the Italian sculler was well to the back of this field in the race for lanes, so there won't be any surprise about that. But the difference between de Koning and Whitley in that race for lanes yesterday was something like 12 seconds. But they were very, very competitive early on. And you just wonder, really, with the Tokyo Paralympics coming up, you know, at the moment, Lawrence Whitley's maybe hoping his partner from Rio will return.
Just seeing de Koning there going towards the buoy line on his right, the stroke side buoys, and had a little clash with one. He had to make a correction to get his boat back into the lane. It slowed him down and gave a little bit away to Lawrence Whitley. But having made that correction, he's back on it now, and certainly holding that gap of about 13 metres as they're coming out here, settling into the race pace, going through about a minute or so.
So Corne van der Koning, 28 years of age. They're quite similar, actually, these two athletes, Lawrence Whitley and Corne van der Koning. Whitley's just 26 years of age. And comes out of, well, he's having a lot of trouble, isn't he? Gianfilippo Mirabali, you can see there. is not quite as technically competent as his two opponents. In fact, when these guys raced in Gavidati, which is, as you say, the centre for Italian rowing, not so long ago, he was well to the back of the field, this Italian sculler, in a field that was won by Lawrence Whitley. Now, Corne van der Koning wasn't in that race, so Lawrence Whitley has raced already once in Gavidati in the middle of May, where he beat the Polish and the Canadian sculler, but the Italian sculler was in the B final in that race in Gavirati, and clearly, just to show people that it is very difficult, we might get a look later on at just exactly how we can try and keep these boats straight. But I think this is a great scull from van der Koning, Greg. I mean, he's further in front than he was of Whitley in the heat.
Yeah, van der Koning settled into his pattern now, stroke rate about 28 strokes a minute, and then after that steering wobble that he had, he's now got it really sorted out, and is moving very smoothly.
He's going a couple of seconds quicker than he was in the heat. He was 2:08 in the heat and 2:06 today, Corne van der Koning. And in fact, you can see the speed there, 13.3. I mean, every single stroke, he's basically pulling away sort of 40, 50 centimetres from his British rival. And I guess partly this will be to do with just how much, in terms of qualification, or in terms of, you know, his disability, how much of his body he can use, how much leg drive he can actually get on. There's a very interesting way that you classify people for these events. You know, there's a medical classification where you get points for certain levels of disability. And then, of course, there is the assessment, the rowing assessment done on sort of rowing ergometers and rowing machines. And clearly there is a sort of line between your level of disability. It's not the same across all athletes. And Lawrence Whitley there, well, over 1,000 metres, he is the Paralympic champion in this event. In the mixed doubles, the PR2 event. But it's really important for him in this phase of racing of the Olympiad that he is actually keeping motivated, keeping competitive. He actually couldn't get to compete with his partner until the very last minute before the 2015 World Championships. She only just learned to scull there, you know, and so he had to keep motivated, keeping his single. And he's used to that. It's a ploughing a lonely furrow. But of course, it's now for all the public to see. Now you've got it in the World Cup races. You can see van der Koning out in front, and Lawrence Whitley's there.
Well, as you say, it's great to have races like this to keep the focus while he does look for a doubles partner to form that mixed double and be ready for the Paralympics. We can see how strong the Netherlands double's likely to be. As we know, world champions in the mixed double that we've seen, Corne de Koning and Van der Meer in the previous race make that mixed double that was champions in Sarasota. As we take a look back at the Italian sculler here, and I guess you just get to see that done well, this sport looks simple. As it is, you can just see the boat just rolling from side to side a little bit as he's not quite so clean with his blade work.
Yeah, and van der Koning out in front for Holland. Lawrence Whitley, well, he was at the front of the field in Gavirati just 4 or 5 weeks ago, and in second place there was Michael Godowski, who was in the double that took third place in the World Championships last year. So it was a decent in the mixed double sculls. So he came out, his partner Jolanta Maika, but he came out, took a silver medal in Gavirati. So it was a quality field, and Whitley did well to win that by a decent margin, 15 seconds, but stepped up again another notch. And actually you can see, I think one of the things in that shot, you can see with van der Koning how well suited he is technically in that double with Anneke van der Meer, because he has a very similar body flexion. Really does get that reach out front, right round. And
yeah, and like you say, it's good to see them racing in the two singles here, and then you can work out how they're going to move the double most effectively together. And as you say, you can see the style is to get that long connection as effectively as they can do.
so we can see the scullers away to our left. There's around about 400 metres to go. Van der Koning went through the 1500 metres in 6:31, exactly the same pace as he went through in that demonstration race. 8:39 was his time there. I think if he can really put a sprint on, there might be a chance that this could be a new world's best time. And if Lauren Rolls, of course Paralympic champion with Lawrence Whitley, is watching this World Rowing presentation at home, we wish you well, Lauren. We hope you're enjoying the racing on the lake at Linz Ottenheim, and having a good look at your partner there, Lawrence Whitley, doing his best up against the power, poise and strength of the Dutchman, Corne van der Koning. "28 years of age, he is going to take this race probably just outside of that time he set in the heats of 8:39. That won't bother him with that victory under his belt. Oh, not just outside, so I think that might be a new world's best time for this event. Conditions not as fast as they were yesterday morning, so he's gone a lot quicker. And I think that's what we're seeing with Lawrence Whitley. He probably went pretty flat out yesterday. Lawrence Whitley crosses the line.
Yeah, and the British sculler took it on early today, didn't he? He tried to stay with the pace of de Koning, but was paid for that probably as the course opened out.
So the announcer is trying to organise a big round of applause for the third sculler in this race. So Gianfilippo Mirabili, who is learning his trade, the 50-year-old from Italy. He's quite in his arms, isn't he? You'd really want a little more looseness in his shoulders and forearms, just to let those blades go a little bit more flat through the water. But nice and fluid around the finish.
Well, he's sprinting into the line now, and the boat looks like it's moving well now. It just shows how good the other two were, really.
Yeah, it's a big difference, isn't it? He's going to be through in, what, about 11 minutes or so, 10, 11 minutes? So, Lawrence Whitley off the start. 26-year-old Paralympic champion from Rio. Nice squeeze, and you can see there the problems that the Italian sculler had on his left blade. It really unsettled him for the whole first 250
really?
metres.
Just trying to get clean there, but
because he's holding his blade quite tight in that right hand, isn't he? So he doesn't really quite know whether it's gone in square.
Yeah, so it was not properly squared and feathered, as opposed to that which we're seeing being demonstrated beautifully by Corne de Koning.
So 8:38.53, new world's best time in this event, which is a new event. Lawrence Whitley just slightly slower than he was